guys, so for today's video I have a full face of second impressions, not first impressions, second impressions. I'm so excited for this video because actually a subby of mine commented on my last full face of first impressions, and she came up with this amazing idea that I thought was genius of doing a video of second impressions that kind of was me testing out products that I tried once and I wasn't sure how I felt about them, so I'm giving them that second impression. This video also includes products that I tried years ago that I maybe didn't like, but my skin has changed now, my preferences have changed now, so I'm giving it a second chance. And also products that, to be honest with you guys, I test out and then they kind of get lost in my collection and I never test them out again for weeks or even months. It just kind of happens sometimes. There's so much new makeup that they kind of get lost in the mix. So I'm bringing them back out to play with and see how I feel about them. I was so shocked to see how many of you guys liked that comment and the response on it. So if you guys enjoy this video and you want me to keep doing it, then please don't forget to like, thumbs up, and I definitely will keep doing these videos. If you are interested in checking out this makeup look and seeing a bunch of products, me giving them a second chance, second impressions, then make sure to keep on watching. So let's get started. The first product I really want to give a second chance is the Urban Decay Rehab Makeup Prep. Now this I did really like during my first impression. I just want to try it again because I haven't dabbled into it. I used it once, not on camera, like on my own, and I really liked it, but I just want to try it again. So here's how it looks like. It's a really nice like gel moisturizer type of primer. It's almost a primer and a moisturizer in one. Now from what I remember, yeah, it's so like watery. I loved this when I first tried it. It gives you a really dewy finish, but it is pretty like, you know, hydrating. You do have to like work it into the skin. So I'm also gonna test out and give a second impression on the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. I'll be honest with you guys, the first time I tested this out on camera in a full face first impressions, I never used it again. So it's just one of those products that I kind of threw into my drawers and I never dabbled into again. So it's a good chance for me to kind of give it another shot. I do remember it being like kind of pinky, but it turns out completely sheer afterwards. I kind of wish I used this first and then the Urban Decay because I feel like this is gonna mattify me now. But we'll see if the two work together nicely. And I am just gonna take a little bit more of the Urban Decay and kind of apply it to the dewy areas that I really want to be like super dewy. And today we're gonna test out the Nars Sheer Glow Foundation. I'm both excited and nervous to try this because I think I got a shade that's too dark. I'm thinking I should have got Stromboli or Barcelona. I don't know, you guys. I got the shade Syracuse. I don't know if it's gonna match me, but I really want to try this. I did try this foundation out years ago and I wasn't a fan, but I was very oily years ago, like very oily skin, and my skin has definitely changed. So I feel like giving this foundation a second try, just because like I said, my skin has changed and so many people love this. So I'm just like, get it together, Amy, try it again. So it's kind of a thicker formula. Not like thick, but like, I don't know, for it to be called Sheer Glow, I expected it to be, you know, a bit like lighter in texture, I guess. I remember this being I think it was very greasy on me before when I was super oily, I think. I'm gonna put a good amount of this because I know that this foundation is, I think, what, like medium to full, and I like full coverage, so I hate that this doesn't have a pump. It's such like, it's so expensive that I feel like really you couldn't include a pump for me? Yeah, so nice medium to full coverage. I don't know why they call it Sheer Glow because it's definitely a nice medium to full coverage. And it's definitely not, I think I remember, I mean, I'm not like 100%, but I would have to go back into my old videos. I think I did a first impression on this and see, but I think I remember it being overly greasy on me. I think, and I wasn't a fan, but like I said, my skin has changed and it's not as dewy anymore. Like it's definitely seems to be more of like a soft natural finish. So it looks really good on the skin, but now I'm going to use this Tarte foundation brush and see how it works with that. I mean, a foundation brush is always going to give you a super airbrushed finish, and it is going to be fuller coverage. So I think I like this foundation. It looks nice. It's kind of reminds me of like it would fit into the same family almost as the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. Okay, so now we're gonna do concealer, and this concealer, I actually love the formula, but it's just been sitting in my drawer because you guys know I just don't have a good experience overall applying it because I didn't like the applicator. It actually applies very little product. So what I did was, a lot of you guys told me all I had to do was remove the little stopper that's up there. So all I did was take a scissors, a very mini scissors, jab it in and pluck it up, and it just popped right out. Keep in mind when you do that, a lot of product comes out now. Like there's no stopper, right? So you can see the wand is like loaded with product. But I mean, I would rather that than like no product at all and I have to keep dipping in. I'm just gonna have to be careful how much I apply. Without the stopper is not bad. A lot comes off, but you guys know me, I apply a lot of product anyways, and I kind of like the fact that I'm not having to dip back in the tube. So now I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out. It's really nice and pigmented. I mean, I put a lot, so you know, but I remember it being like a nice medium to full coverage concealer. So I don't know if you guys can see, but it gets a little bit spotty, like a little bit creasy. Not so much creasy, like a little, like it separates a little bit. So I'm just setting my under eye really quickly because I don't have a product to give a second impression on for this step. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a second chance. This is the Makeup Forever HD stick. I love this as a foundation, but I've expressed that I'm not a huge fan of it as a bronzer. This is the shade 177 equals Y505. I wasn't a huge fan of how like it gave a little bit of a glow to the like bronzing and contouring area. Given it's not for that, it's just a lot of foundation sticks work great for that as well. And I just didn't find that this one did. We're gonna put a little bit on. I remember it being like not the perfect shade for me. It's a bit on the red side, but we'll work with it. I feel like it looks better a little bit with this foundation shade, this Syracuse, whatever. How do you pronounce that, guys? From Nars, so that looks a little bit better. I'm just gonna blend it out a little bit better. I don't know what it is, but for some reason I'm just not crazy about it still, like even after trying it a bit more, and for some reason it's blending a little bit patchy. Like, do you guys see how patchy it looks? I hate that. It's bothering me so much right now, but it is what it is. Okay, so my camera cut off. I don't know when it cut off, but I was just telling you guys that I'm gonna be testing out for a second time the Marc Jacobs Air Blush in the shade Flesh and Fantasy. This was one of those products, unfortunately, that I tested out once and then it kind of got shoved into my drawers and I never really tested it out again. So I can't even really remember what my review was of this, but I just put it on the cheeks right now. It looks really pretty, really nice. All right, so next I wanna test out this L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer again. Again, this is kind of one of those products where I tested it out and I didn't really use it, whoops, that much afterwards. And now I can't remember what my review is on it. I can't remember if I like this or if I don't. So we're gonna give it a second chance and try it out again, see if I fall in love. And it's gonna be like my new fave. So I'm just brushing this out. I do remember I liked this brush. It reminded me a lot of the Anastasia brush. Also, this is in the shade Dark Brunette. So I just started outlining this bottom here. So it's nice. It's pigmented, but not overly pigmented. The spoolie does blend out the product really nicely too. Yeah, I think what I remember during my first impression of this is I think I remember liking it. But obviously it didn't like stand out to me so much because it kind of just went in my drawer and I didn't really use it that much after. So I also want to try this Milani Easy Brow Tinted Fiber Gel again because again, I just can't remember what my thoughts were of it. Another product that just ended up in my drawers. So this is the dark brown shade. I think I remember possibly liking this. I think I remember because the brush looks so nice and like small. I think this brush is the perfect shape and size for your brows. It's not too large. So now I want to test out this Smashbox 24-hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer. I was actually just decluttering my makeup collection, which I vlogged for you guys. If you want to check that out, make sure you subscribe to my vlog channel. It's up right now. It's Amy Macedo Vlog. That's my vlog channel. Yeah, so once I was like decluttering, I noticed that I had this eyeshadow primer and I was like, what? When did I try that out? I didn't even remember like really trying it. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna try it now. It feels like a silicone primer that you'd put on your face, but I guess it's for your eyes. And as you can see, there's no color to it, which I'm not a huge fan of, just because I like there to be a bit of color so that it can conceal any redness or anything, and I can have like that clean, even base. But what I will do is just take some of my leftover concealer from my beauty blender or my Sigma blender and put that right on top, because the texture feels really nice. It feels like it will smooth out your eyes so you can get a super smooth application of eyeshadow, because it was very like silky and smooth. I need to unfortunately give this a second chance, because I haven't been able to kind of tell you guys what my thoughts are on this. I really loved the formula and everything, but unfortunately after I used this, I got a really bad reaction on my eyelid, where it was super scaly and very dry and almost had like red bumps. So it was definitely a reaction, but I used this and then I used the Annabelle eyelid primer. So it could have been that, or it could have been this. So I've been like saying to myself, Amy, you need to just try this eyeshadow palette out again so that you know if it was this that gave you a reaction. But I've been so scared to, but we're gonna do it today. So I am just gonna set that primer with a little bit of setting powder. This is the Wet n Wild one. All right, so you guys guessed it. The first color we're dabbling into is this beautiful peach right here. It just works as a really great transition. So next I'm gonna take this really nice warm shade. It is super pigmented and warm, but I'm just gonna apply that right on the outer crease. So now I'm just mixing in a bit of this tan shade here, just so that it's not as orangey and warm, just to cool it down a little bit. So I'm taking a bit more of that tan shade and just applying that in the same area again, just to kind of cool it down a little bit more. I am going to apply that underneath the eye as well. And also the tan shade. So next I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to take this really beautiful kind of green shade, but I am going to mix it a little bit with this shade because I want to make like this golden green, you know? I don't want it to be like a lime green, and I feel like that's a little bit of a lime greenish. Kind of want it to be like this khaki gold green. So I'm just going to mix the two until I get the type of shade color that I want. And I'm just going to go in between the crease and the lid and kind of blend those two. So I think I'm going to mix in some of this shade just to kind of change up how the green looks. I like the color, it's just not what I'm going for today. It's a bit too golden. And I'm just going to take some of that and apply that all over. Pretty much we're covering it up. At least you guys get to see how both of the shades looked so that you can see which one you like better, if you prefer the gold or if you kind of like more of the sage khaki. So I have this really nice little eye art from Revlon. This is not a second impression. I've used this, like, I know I love this. It's amazing. But I think I want to take just a little bit of this glitter. This is in the shade, what is it? Desert Dazzle. And I just want to take the tiniest amount, like there's barely anything. And I just want to take it a little bit all over the place. Like, I'm telling you guys, just a tiny bit. You know, I don't want there to be like full on glitter going on. So I wiped off most of the product. And I kind of like that look, how it's like the most subtle little drips of shimmer. So now that the shadow is done, I'm actually going to go ahead and film another clip for a separate video. I'm going to be giving the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara a second chance, but I'm giving it a second chance because I'm comparing it to the new L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise mascara. They look so similar, and word on the street is L'Oreal purposely tried to make it a dupe because the wand looks just alike. So I'm gonna go ahead, pop off of this video, pop onto another one, and film a kind of first impression on this, second impression on this, compare it together, see if they are dupes. All right, so I don't really have a lipstick or lip product to give a second impression on, so I'm gonna do a first impression. We're gonna test out this Revlon lip gloss, but first things first, I'm just gonna apply a little bit of this Dose of Colors matte liquid lipstick in the shade Super Natural. I'm also gonna add in a little bit of MAC, etc. So I really want to test out this Revlon lip gloss. This is in the shade 255 Sandstorm, and this is the Revlon Super Lustrous Lip Gloss. It looks really pretty, and it has like these little bits of shimmer in it. So let's see. Ooh, and it's like a little bit more on the sheer side, which is nice. So pretty, right guys? So that is it for the full face of second impressions. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had so much fun doing it. It also kind of helps me pick these products out again, see how I really feel about them so that I kind of have a final review. Because a lot of the times there's so many products that I don't have like that final thought on or that final review. So this video helps me, and I feel like it's also interesting to watch. Don't forget to like, thumbs up if you enjoyed it so I can keep doing it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.